Hey Patriots, how you doing today? And I hope we got some transmission in here. We got some network troubles. We're probably gonna start walking around. We're nosediving on the network here. But have no fear. Hunter Biden's got the fake news cycle all ready to go right now. Hello, Carol Burton. How are you? So it was looking pretty grim there. It was looking like the news was going to have to start covering the election fraud and trials and all that stuff. Oh no, Valerie, you got a winter warning, winter storm warning. Today was great out here, man. It was like almost 50 degrees here and sunny. It was nice. The wind stopped blowing for a day. It was really pleasant here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is where I'm broadcasting from now. And I hope they get a decent day down in D.C., man, because, man, they've been dealing with the weather down there. I hope Trooper and Sherry got all dried out already and stuff. Hi, Valerie Lund, Wisconsin. Ooh. Yeah, they're hyping up the weather out here. They're telling us it's going to get bad, it's going to get bad. Hey, Ferg, how are you? And let's keep Silly for him in our prayers again. I guess she's still, I haven't had word from Silly, and I've been praying for her a lot, man. And I know that, you know, she got that concussion not long ago, but she had some other health issues that wound her up in the hospital there, in the ICU for a while there. And let's keep Silly for him in our prayers, man. We all need each other's prayers every day, but specifically, I'm praying for Silly. Hope she's getting better here. Hope the doctors can take some good care for her. And pray for all my other, my mods, everyone's mods. You know, modding is a tough job, man, is what I'm finding out, trying to help Sherry out. Hi, Ferg. How you know at Liberty? Kathy. Bonnie, hello. Carol Burton, Tammy Green in the house. Way to go, Patriots. So let's get right down to it. I thought they were going to turn some lights on here for me, but I don't know, man. I just went off the ground. I don't know. But Dwight led off with a prayer last night at Freedom Corner. The network at Freedom Corner was horrible, man. It was, it was, that everyone's streams was really, just buffering a lot down there last night. So I really, no, this is, I'm the real Jericho here, Cleo. But yeah, so we've been dealing with that, all right? Talk about being a moderator. And there's things that the mods can do to keep that from being too much of a problem. There's more than one fake Jericho out there. There's more than one fake USA for Ashley from Sean. And I just saw one that had like Roger's picture in the profile picture there. And it's crazy, man. These people got no lives. They got to just follow us around in order to have a life, have something to, you know, make themselves feel good about or something like that. But last night, Dwight led off with a prayer. Mini rants about what's going on. And Nicole touched on the fact that, you know, we're on, tonight will be Vigil number 528, and it just seems we keep doing the same thing over and over, and it's not working. But we are not inadequate. We are tenacious, and we will overcome. All right, boy, it is getting dark here. I do that too, Bonnie. I don't usually forget to hit the like, but I do sometimes. So last night we got a bunch of great little talks from Mickey and Nicole. Taylor John Attackers called us up. We had a talk with Chris Quaglin. We touched on some of the internal strife there at the Gulag. And let's pray for the J6ers. I mean, there is no shortage of prayer requests here with the things that we're dealing with, man. We got to keep everybody in. Yay! All right, we got lights. Thank you, God. All right. All right, here we go. Now I can see you. Okay, here we go. Hey, Deb for Freedom, how are you? Gotta get a spot here. It's getting some good transmission. Deb for Freedom's down at Freedom Corner doing an awesome job. Wearing a bunch of different hats down there, doing a live streaming, doing some work for the movement, putting together videos. Awesome work, Deb for Freedom. Hello, Priscilla Victor. So Chris Quaglin called in, and he started talking about Isaac Thomas, and there's been some internal stuff going on with Isaac Thomas, and Mickey kind of got on and said, hey, let's just not talk about that stuff because that's not good stuff to unite us. That's stuff that divides us. And I agree. And I pray for them J6ers in there all the time. The stuff that they're dealing with is horrible. And they have no way out, man. It's like everyone's sitting around waiting for Trump to do something, and Trump's got his hands full, man. This is where we come in. We got to be making these phone calls. We got to be helping them guys helping their families endure this extreme injustice that's going on there. So I said some special prayers for Isaac Thomas, man. The kid seemed young. He seemed like a good Christian kid. He had a hard life. He grew up as an orphan. And not to make him special or anything, but I think he made some mistakes when he went in there, and I hope he learned from them, and I hope he can get over them and get the unit back together out there, get more cohesive on that, man. Then we got a call from Mark Brew, and he had some information about a prison out in California that they found a grave about that, and then he was talking about the secret societies in our government, you know, the Skull and Bones that you've heard of. There's all these secret societies. You got the what's that one out in California where they worship the owl, and we got all these secrets, and then we got secret societies, and then we got it's just, why all these secrets? And I think the secrets are the trouble. They've been keeping secrets from us, we the people, the voters of this country, for too long, and now we got all these problems that have snowballed into these massive problems for our country right now. Our country is dealing with several massive problems that would be a handful on their own, one at a time. But right now we're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff there. And one of the problems is these secret societies that some of the people are in. And it turns out that a couple of judges just so happen to be Skull and Bones members. Man, I wish I could remember the other names of them. There's like 10 of them, man. And they're not cool, man. The Masons. I mean, you got your uncle or your dad might have been a Mason, a Freemason, but it gets really deep after that. If you're at the higher levels of Masonry, their whole handbook is about keeping secrets and killing you if you reveal the secrets and stuff like that. And I just don't get how these people should be in positions of power if they got, if they're sworn to secrecy to their brothers. They could be controlled, man. In a way, even like a church or the Catholic Church. When Kennedy became president, they were saying, oh, is the Pope running America now? I mean, we got to watch what we're doing. That's why I think we take oaths in this country. And that's why I think we got to hold people to those oaths. When they are not applying that oath to their office, we have to get rid of them. Then Sherry did a really good roll call. Oh, Mark Brew. Oh, never mind. Sherry did roll call, Jeff Sable. Then they started talking about the news, did the national anthem, did the last song. We've still got a bunch of Patriots down there. Bohemian Grove, that's it, Cleo. Way to go, Cleo. You came up with the prison guard's name yesterday, so all right, I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Well, there's two Seans that we want to block, okay? There's two identical Sean channels out there right now. And it's really weird. It's really weird. So Sean's got two different channels, and then there's two fakes out there. It's hard to sort it out. But I think the mods can figure this one out, man. I see Sean in the chat right here, right now. He's here. You see him, Ridgeline? Right above you there. Now when you click and hold on that, go to look at his channel. And then you'll be able to tell which one's the real Sean and which one's the fake Sean. So maybe we're dealing with the fake Sean, I don't know. I think it's the real Sean because I just talked to him on the phone. So yeah, man, we got Bohemian Grove, the Bilderbergs, and all these societies, man. We gotta do something about this. And where this comes into play, just came into play the other day. We got Lloyd Hospital. Nobody knew he was in the hospital, and I think it has something to do with one of these secret society things, man. So I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Another thing in the news. All right, so the news is just spinning and spinning and spinning to keep us from watching to keep us from focusing on correcting that rigged election, because we're not letting that one go, man. It was rigged, and the more information that comes out on that, the more everyone's going to know it was rigged. And the J6er issue, these guys in prison for 3 years with no trial. So one of the other stories now is this Fannie Willis down in that Fulton County, Georgia case against Trump. And this is the case where Trump is he's being charged with insurrection, where he faked the election results, and he tried to get the Secretary of State in Georgia to, all right, we're getting network trouble here. He made that phone call down there, everybody lost their minds. Gosh darn it. It's not working here. And this Fannie Willis, it turns out, and she's the district attorney pressing the charges against Trump. Turns out she's like in bed with the she hires a personal attorney lawyer who never had a prosecution experience in his life. She's on the case of her life, and they're taking cruises together and stuff like that. His name is Nathan Woods. Fannie Willis paid him $654,000. They took vacations together. Nathan Wade met at the White House twice for 8 hours apiece, billed the White House $250 an hour while he was there. Shortly thereafter, on 11/15/22, on November 15th, 2022, Trump announces he's running again, okay? On the 18th of November, Nathan Wade met at the White House for two 8-hour meetings at the White House. Also on the 18th, the DOJ appointed Jack Smith. That same day that Nathan Wade is meeting at the White House is the day they appointed Jack Smith to the trials here in Washington, D.C. And then in February the following year, like 3 months later, Fani Willis went out to the White House. 1 week after, she recommends the charges against Trump. This is the dissection of a politically motivated lawsuit. And this is the lawsuit also where they went after Trump's lawyers too, all right? There were 18, I think, co-defendants in that case down in Georgia. And this is the one where I'm really scratching my head wondering why the attorneys and other people, their hair's on fire. Because here's a case where I never heard of this, where they have somebody they're charging with crimes, and they actually charged the people that were defending him with the crimes. I thought there was some kind of lawyer-client privilege, that they weren't allowed to go after somebody just for trying to defend somebody against a crime. But no, here's where they went after the attorneys of somebody that's accused of a crime. So I don't know, man. I'm not a legal guy. I don't know much about this kind of stuff, but I just don't get it why there aren't a million people up in an uproar about this. It just doesn't fit what I had as my paradigm. All right, this one broke my paradigm. I'm like, what? Just made my head explode. Made me want to just disconnect from it and forget about it, even though there's a huge injustice going on. It's like walking down the street and seeing somebody getting beat up, and you don't want to get involved because you might have to get in a fight or something, but somebody's getting beat up right there. Does anybody deserve to get beat up? Maybe some people deserve to get beat up, but we have a system of law and order. That's why we have. So, man, this is what politically motivated lawfare is, and it's definitely what's going on with Trump right now. Then Hunter Biden swoops in with his big show in the House committee meeting, where he just walks in kind of in the middle of it, then just stands up and walks out right when Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to talk, and then makes a big show of it, man. And I would like to say, on all the news cycles, they all reported on somebody asking Hunter what kind of crack he likes to smoke, okay? As he was walking out of the courthouse, all the reporters followed him. And I got to tell you, that was our guy Ivan, man. That was him with the comment of the day that got on every single news cycle that I've watched. That was great. And Mickey and Nicole were also in that hearing at that committee meeting also. And then we got, so that fills the news cycle, okay? Now tonight and last night, nobody's going to hear about more election fraud cases, which there were. There were more decisions of ballot stuffing and convictions in that area. But instead of hearing that, they're hearing about the Hunter Biden fiasco at the committee meeting. All right, so my news is kind of jumbled today. It's just I was watching the news and just writing some things, man. So then there was that Ray Epps farce of a conviction. Ray Epps, we all know who Ray Epps is. He got 1 year probation. That's it. He was the guy who claimed he orchestrated the whole thing. The DOJ is not even pretending to have justice at all. They're just in our face with it. They're going to do whatever they want to do. They told Mayorkas that he was going to be going into impeachment hearing, I think tomorrow, and he just smirked at him and said, well, you're not going to like who's next. They're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding it. So we're going down that road, America. We are going down that road right now. But I do believe that there is some reason for this all. I think it's a purpose, and I think we're going to see some results, some good turns of events for ourselves here. I did see Vivek Ramaswamy talking about some stuff where he sounded like he was sympathizing with this immigrant issue. You know, he was saying, well, let's just imagine you're down in El Salvador and you hear that Joe Biden invited you all up there, you know. So he's kind of sympathizing with them. So I'm not, that raised a little red flag for Vivek with me, man. Okay, so that House Judiciary Committee did vote to hold Hunter Biden in contempt, 23-14. Another injustice that happened at the New York case. They were having closing arguments today in the New York Trump case. And as you know, Melania's mother died, his wife. And Trump asked for a short delay, and they refused it. They refused him a delay to attend his mother-in-law's funeral. And it's heart-wrenching, it's unbelievable, it's unjust, it's crazy. And then this Lloyd Austin thing, is Lloyd Austin even alive at this point? Because I saw a news report that said Russia is reporting that Lloyd Austin was killed in a cruise missile attack into Ukraine. Now, you can't trust all this news, and I don't know if there's another one that was just made up. But apparently, and they do they fly over to Ukraine and do secret meetings all the time. Russia's claiming Lloyd Austin is dead, okay? And they're still telling us that he had prostate cancer and he had complications from an elective surgery. You know, all the stories are all different that we've heard over the last 3 or 4 days about Lloyd Austin. The head of our Department of Defense. He's the one guy who's in charge of that. The White House didn't even know he was in the hospital for 5 days. What are they doing? Do we have a military leader right now? Do we have somebody who is in charge of our military? Do we know who that person is? There is a person sitting in charge, and she didn't even know where, Lloyd's fill-in replacement is in charge of the military right now. And she didn't really even know that Lloyd Austin was in the hospital 3 days ago. I reported on her name yesterday. I can't remember what it is right now, though. And it's hard keeping all these names in your head, you know. It's like so exhausting. And it's how we got to where we are. We weren't paying attention, okay? We have to pay attention to this stuff. And it is an effort. It's exhausting. And I don't like doing it, but we got to. We got to do this. All right, and there was another thing. All right, so we had Epstein Island. Okay, all this Epstein Island stuff's coming out right now, flooding the airwaves with news things other than the election fraud. And it turns out that, you know, the FBI went in there and just cleaned everything up, man. I remember seeing drone footage of swarms of FBI on Epstein Island, in all the buildings, filling up boxes, covering up windows so the drone couldn't see what was going on in there. And the FBI just went in there and swept everything clean. So the FBI has all this evidence. News is coming out that there are sex tapes with Bill Clinton on them, with Prince Andrew on them, with another guy, Richard Branson, on them, the guy who owns Virgin Airlines and some rocket company, okay? Turns out Epstein Island ain't the only island there was with this stuff. Richard Branson owns an island just down the waterway from Epstein Island, called Little St. James Island. And Richard Branson's island's name's Necker Island. You can't make his stuff up, people. But we can't imagine that Epstein Island was the only spot that they were doing it down there. I did hear also that apparently the Bidens own one of these islands right around in that area. So we're just waiting to see. We're just waiting to see what's happening here. Is our government going to protect us or what? All right, and there's also other earth-shaking news from James O'Keefe, okay? James O'Keefe, remember he had that news source. He's a really good journalist. He does like very undercover stuff. He's the guy that would go in there with undercover stuff and get the people from Pfizer to admit that the drugs that they make kill people and stuff. James O'Keefe is now following these migrant buses around the country. And he's got some incredible footage of the buses actually doing like highway stunt driver maneuvers to try to shake them, and actually did shake them. And then he started following another bus, and it's all hush, 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 secret. And it ain't like people with earplugs and a radio moving these migrants around. You know who it is? It's grandmas and grandpas that work for the Red Cross and the Catholic charity, man. Catholic Community Services is the people who are trafficking these migrants all over the country right now. They're picking them up in one spot and dropping them off at airports. Then when they get to their destination, they're getting on more buses with, just regular people, bus drivers hired. These people are all involved in a human trafficking racket right now, and they're all going to get technically guilty of human trafficking. But they think they're doing a charity now, okay? So people, if you're donating to Catholic Community Services specifically, or the International Rescue Committee, or the American Red Cross, you are donating to a human trafficking organization. And just make sure that you are not involved in that, because if it turns out that these people are guilty of human trafficking, which it's obvious that they are, because these people are getting on airplanes without ID. We have the TSA. You're supposed to take your shoes off. You're supposed to show ID. You're supposed to have your vax papers. You're supposed to wear the mask. These migrants aren't showing any ID. They're just loading them up on planes, and the airlines are involved with moving these people around the country. So it ain't just FJB who's guilty of this. We got a bunch of corporate interests, the airlines, the bus lines, these NGO charities. They're all involved with spreading these migrants all over the country. And if you want a little taste of what we're about to see here in America, take a look at what just happened down in Ecuador, okay? Because that's what happened down in Ecuador. We got gang cabals down there at war with the government, violently taking over news stations with guns and explosives and stuff. And that just, that looks like a taste of what we are about to see in America. So get ready, folks. Get ready. It's not the end of the world. All right, we can get through this. God is in control still. But let's just keep looking toward him and put our faith where it should be in God right now. Let's get ready. Let's make sure you got a couple gallons of water sitting around, so if everything just shuts down, you're not going to be crying in 20 minutes. You can go 3 days or something. You can go 2 weeks. 2 weeks would be nice to be able to just float without having to leave your house, okay? Make sure you got canned food around or something like that you're not going to starve. Make sure you got some fresh water. Make sure you got your medicines that you have to have, if or bad things would happen to you. And let's just keep our heads on straight here, all right? Keep our heads on straight. So that's about all I got today. And I hope the network's a lot better at Freedom Corner tonight, because I just didn't glean a lot of what happened last night because it was just so buffery, man. It was hard to understand what was going on. That's why it was so short of a report there on Freedom Corner. Yeah, Trudeau up in Canada. I mean, they are going through the same thing up there in Canada. All right, we got Taco Joe and Oreo. Put out the live streams about NGOs last year, right? It's not news to us, right, Cleo? We've known about this for a long time, but here they are. They are trafficking humans. I just can't believe that, man. Jay, I have not heard from Silly, man. And I'm a little bit worried. So we're praying for her hard, man. I texted her a couple times, but I haven't heard back. And she is a warrior, though. But she is dealing with a lot of health issues. I don't know if you all know about Silly for him, but she is quite the patriot. She was at 9/11. She was at the towers helping out the firefighters. And she stayed down there for a long time and got a lot of bad health effects from all that dust that was down there and stuff. And she's been struggling with that ever since. Yeah, Cousin Silly rocks. Hey, Turbo, how are you, man? Man, Mikey, Mikey, that's a really personal question. I feel awkward, like, speaking about that on a live stream. And really, I don't even know who you are, bud, you know, but that's kind of a personal question that I don't think I'm going to share with you right now. Sounds like you might know something, though. Yeah, that's right. There you go, Bonnie. It's Satan. They have no clue of normal social dialogue. They just jump in and say stuff like that. Or try to take over the country. Or usher a bunch of illegal migrants all over our country. It's Satan. This is a battle against good and evil. Good versus evil. And we know Trump won and God won. So we really got nothing to worry about. It's probably going to suck for a little while, but we really got nothing to worry about. Finally snowing out there in Washington. All right, Turbo. Like, is anybody, we all know each other here in the chat, right? You know, I know who you guys are. I know Ferg, I know Turbo, I know Bonnie. Has anybody ever seen Mikey Erudite? Ever? And you think you could just come in here like some kind of doofus and ask a stupid question and get a response? I mean, it's insulting, dude. It's insulting, if you're even a dude. And then we got other people with stupid sounding names. They got pictures of other people. They're cowards. You guys are such cowards, man. You won't show your face. You're not even worth the time to talk about. Yeah, all right, maybe we could do that. You just want to do that, Ridgeline, because that's when you're up. I'm kind of tired today. Stay in the moment, that's right. All right, right on. Right on, Turbo, that's the attitude. I just had to comment on that, you know. Unbelievable. Deb By. You better watch out you don't get Deb By on your case, bud. I love you, Deb. A J-O-B, what's that? Do they even know what that is? Work? Or just a... Yeah, whatever. That's all we got tonight, Patriots. Maybe we'll get a late nighter going up tonight, man, but I doubt it right now. But okay, with the notification bell thing is what I'm finding is that you gotta almost refresh that like every day. I know you all subscribe to, I subscribe to probably, I don't know, 150 channels. but I don't need to get notifications for all of them. So the ones that I definitely want, like Stormtrooper and Sapphire Patriot, those are the ones that I want to get a notification from. And the 4 Ashley J6 Vigils, Rebecca, those are all the ones that I just go back through, and if I'm looking for their thing tonight, I got to hit the notification bell at some point in the day. And it does seem that if you refresh that notification bell today, it'll work today. It may not work tomorrow, though, is what I'm finding. And eventually, YouTube is going to crack down on us. So I got to start thinking of a second channel or getting a Rumble channel just for my own good. A lot of people have them already, but I'm starting to see the writing on the wall with YouTube. They're cracking down on people again now for misinformation or whatnot. Let me get in on that. There we go, Patriots. All right, so there is a lot happening, and I think this is going to turn into a boom, 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 boom. So in the meantime, this is Jericho, over and out.